The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
This man needs medical attention.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
The old method of treatment for a person in this condition was to throw him in jail.
Oh, Brady, that disco spinster's at it again. She has edited your Instagram's Wikipedia page and said it died 2 years ago. Unbelievable. She said that the Instagram views on your page are now at a negative 216 after the number of suicides it's caused. Disco spinster. Yeah. But, I mean, Amber Alerts, enough already with the, I'm at home. Don't play around. This is just a game on me is basically what it comes down to. Also, we were talking about stuff that can be charged one direction or another. And you know what's funny? I never get like blowback on email or contacted by anybody who's like, "Now I spend my entire day looking for those Amber Alerts. You quiet down." Nobody's doing it.
No.
But we all do it the exact same way. And it's because it's designed to make us aware at the time that if you're on the road, take a gander around real quick and see if you see a Subaru with this license plate. Again, they remind us constantly not distracted while we drive. It's dangerous to read things or to look around or, keep your eyes on the prize. But then every once in a while, it's like, here's 6 numbers that you have to remember that isn't a personalized plate. ER3, 645, Tennessee plates, gray Subaru with a sticker that says this. It's like, well, now I'm busy doing other stuff than paying attention to the road. And so is everybody around me, by the way. You made everybody in the whole group just do something other than drive for a minute.
Nobody's going out of their way to look for Amber people. We're all about convenience.
I do all the time.
It's our circle. If you do, you're the only one, Brady. But yeah, if you're on the road, you look around, and that's it. And that's enough. So it's only for when you're in. The car knows when I'm driving. It always says, can't send a text. And then I have to click that I am not driving thing and pretend I'm a passenger. It knows when I'm doing it. That's when the Amber
knows where you're going.
It's the only time your Amber Alert needs to be on is when your phone recognizes you are mobilized. If it's been sitting on a counter for a while, you don't need to go out and look for Amber.
Yeah, you'd think they could figure that out.
Yeah. And besides, it's someone named Amber. Stripper. We don't need to look for those. I know where to find an Amber every time. I go over to the highlighter, and there's like 7 Ambers in there. They should have Amber Alert night. It would be insensitive and they'd get in trouble, but at strip clubs, all Ambers on stage tonight. 8 o'clock.
Amber Alert Thursday.
Time for a little Amber Alert. Free lobster. That was my biggest fear in the world is you go by highlighter and they're like lobster night. And I'm like, oh, is that to drown out the fish smell? Thank you, Ed McMahon.
They dropped it.
They still have it.
They just do crab night.
Oh, everybody's got crab. You can get crabs there for $12.99. Just the price of admission.
All you can eat.
It's an Amber Alert Thursday. Every dancer's name is Amber. Welcome to the stage, Amber.
It's a great idea.
It's a
Get
great
on
idea.
it.
Well, people would be too upset because it's about missing kids. Strip clubs can't have fun anymore, Brady. Ridiculous. Can't do that. But I would like to go to an Amber Alert because every Amber I've ever met has been sort of a slut. Am I wrong?
Trying to think.
It's kind of a thing, right? Think of one, like, virtuous Amber. And then I'm going to throw another name at you and tell me that it's not. Ready? Dakota. Yeah. Tell me you've ever met a virtuous Dakota.
A scholar.
Never once.
She was paying her way through school.
Yeah.
On the pole.
She's the one that they say pseudo cum loudly. Pseudo cum loudly. I get it. Because her name's Dakota. She's never gone to college. She didn't have to.
Even Dakota Fanning.
Probably a slut. I don't know that but the name tells me.
She's like 25 now, Brady.
Yeah.
She's really sexually enlightened.
If the name says anything, she's probably put out a few times without you know. But yeah, I've never met an Amber that's like.
No.
They're always kind of that almost sort of I think I might do that kind of girl. She's putting out a vibe, but not just to me, to the entire room. I know the Amber Alerts about a kid who got stolen. They're not all named Amber before you idiots who can't live in the world of nuance or comedy. Email. Dude, the real story of the Amber Alert is that a girl that I know.
Stop talking.
Jackass. Life Wikipedia. You know what you are? You're a living, breathing disco spinster. You're a bothersome problem in society.
That's a good new name instead of Fat Linda.
Yeah, Fat Linda and Karen is gone. It's now the disco spinster. Well, I just want to let you know that it's not funny to make fun of the Amber Alert. Oh, it's hilarious. And you're not doing anything about it either, so zip your trap. Get in your mobile scooter, go get your Funyuns, and shut up. That's what I want to say to the world.
None of them are charged.
Yeah, can't do it. By the way, I wouldn't get Funyuns, jerk. Not Doritos are $1 now. Okay, whatever it is you shove in that pie hole that you can't.
Yeah, you're the guy who's all excited. Amber Alert!
Yeah.
Yes!
Right, nobody is. You sour individual that has to correct people when they're telling jokes. Awful. Terrible human being. Any name that ends with an I, always a hoe. And this is from a woman.
Danny.
Tony. Oh, my God.
Oh, oops.
Well, I know a kid named Tony. Can't have that
I
one.
thought the same thing, but I'm like, nope, not going there.
You just sent one father to the loony bin. Because we know a guy whose kid's name
It was
is
a
Tony, and
reflex. I'm sorry, it's a reflex.
That just I don't think that's true of that particular one. But you never know. This is somebody else's theory. I've never had the theory that a name that ends in an I is slutty. But now that I think about it.
What name? Let's see here.
Every slut that has... there's a lot of them that... oh, my goodness. That's...
For the record, Ronnie's with 2 E's at the
right,
end.
Ron E.
All right. Yeah.
Not Roni.
She changed it, though, after she met me.
Bobby
It was.
with an
It
I.
did end with an I.
And you took the slut right out of her?
Yeah.
Good on you, man.
Naomi.
Ooh, that's a slutty name, but it could also go large girl.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Man, you're right.
Demi.
Slutty.
Tracy
Lexi.
with an I.
Tracy with an
Lex.
I. If they change it to an
Lexi's
I,
name.
if it's supposed to be a Y, but they make it an I, like Susie with just an I at the end, that girl's a slut.
And then they put the little heart
A little
over
heart.
the dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
In high school, there was a
Heidi.
Susie a year younger than me. SOOZI.
We had one that was
Susie.
spelled it like the Sioux Nation, SOUIOX or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And then
From the Banshees.
I. Yeah, like Susie and the Banshees.
Charlie.
Charlie with an I? That's a slut. She's sexy, though.
She's kind of wild.
There's no such thing as an ugly Charlie with an I. Well, the one that's too sexy Charlie with an I-E. What's up, Taylor? Yeah, so you might have a slut name. But this lady who said, please, don't say my name on the air. I don't want this, but any girl whose name ends in an I is always an absolute whore. Dakota Johnson was a whore in 50 Shades.
Yeah.
And it was believable. Why? Because it said Dakota on there, and we all know what Dakotas are. You don't meet a lot of virtuous Dakotas. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that one, but it's true. Ambers are sluts.
Man, I'm looking at all these women's names ending in I. I'm like, oh, yeah. There's a whore.
Which
All
one?
right.
What do you got?
Andy with an I.
Oh, yeah, slut.
I mean, that's just...
I had there was a girl we used to work with named Andy with an I.
Tori.
And she used to blow a friend of mine under his desk at work. And then she went off and became a lesbian. And to go visit her, this is the better part.
His fault.
I think it might have been. And he went to go visit Andy with an I in her house, and she got an apartment in New York. And she was living with a guy and a girl. And they basically said, it's a free-for-all if you want in. And he's like, I didn't expect that. And he said, this all started from you being a young intern that used to blow me under my desk. And this is what it started. And she goes, I'm Andy with an I. I had to be a slut. It's the way my name's spelled. Andy with an I. You knew her.
Knew her mom.
And her mother, who was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Probably also got under a few desks in her day.
Darn it.
Did her first name end in an I? I don't remember her name, but we knew the whole family. That's right.
Just blanked on her mom.
Forgot about Andy with an I. Used to, after work, just go, like not even after work, at like 4:30, just go in and go, there's nobody in your office? And my buddy would be like, nope. And then next thing you know, she's under the desk, and he'd just keep typing.
You know how that whole thing started? because her mom delivered sandwiches
her
to
smoking,
office buildings.
This is how radio works, by the way. Yeah. Her smoking hot mom used to come in every morning at 11.
With a basket.
With a basket of sandwiches. And she was so hot, we would buy and eat her sandwiches.
And treats.
Then they're like, we can't, because she's like, I'm not going to do the sandwich thing anymore. Like, oh, why? Well, I'm just going to stop doing it. Like, no. You want a job here? And they made her a salesperson. like that day. It was great. And then her daughter showed up. There it is. It ended in a vowel.
It did. I just remembered.
Maybe her generation, it was all sluts ended with an A.
That name is not Slutty. I've never heard a name that.
She was awesome, too.
She was.
I actually liked her kid, too, especially the way she behaved around my buddy. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely
it could be slutty. Welcome to the stage.
Well, anything could be slutty.
Yeah. That's true. It's like an SAT question.
Yeah. But can all things?
Yeah, exactly. All things can be slutty, but not all. Yeah, they're sluts.
Yeah.
That's the SAT question. Anyway, thank you for that lady whose name I won't read. Stacy with an I. Everybody's popping one. Everybody's popping a whore off. Oh, and then we've got one named Randy Condit. She emails all the time. She ends it in an I. And you know what you did, Randy? I can tell this story. To prove it, she had sex in an RV on my radio show at The Zone 9 months prior to the year 2000 to try to have a New Year's baby. We were going to try to pick the consummation date, and we had them hump her and her ex. So kind of slutty, Randy. Kind of slutty. She can sing like an angel, though.
Who donated the RV?
Oh, geez, I don't remember. I don't know. Some company. I'm sure you were behind that.
God damn it, John, you're right again. Every Heidi I dated was a slut, tramp, or
Heidi with an I. I knew a Heidi.
Yeah?
Tramp. Fun one, but tramp. Anyway. Well, we've solved that mystery. Congratulations, ladies. Especially the ones with an I at the end of her first name driving to work right now going, hey, I have a questionable past, but I cleaned it up. Yeah, when you gained weight. You had to. You were forced by society.
I became a family woman.
I've had kids. Yeah, but you were a slut before that.
The queen of them.
Can't wash it off.
How'd you get those kids?
Heidi Fleiss, yeah. You can't be a... It never washes off. Like Brett always says, and he got this line from Casino, once a whore, always a whore. I don't necessarily believe that. I think you can change your ways, but your history is going to follow you a little bit.
Again, you're always a whore, though.
Right.
You're always going to be labeled that. Whether you change it or not, the label's always going to be there.
The movie Best in Show, Catherine what's her O'Hara, is that her name? And she was a whore in a previous life, and then she's just this homemaker. But everybody she
married
went to,
boring dentist,
some boring dentist who's just kind of a normal dude. But everybody she runs into is like, oh my God, is that? And then everybody like points to her boobs or like does a nipples thing. Keep them up.
Keep them up.
Keep them up, baby.
You look good.
She remember that time on the roller coaster, and then she starts getting all weepy and she's like, you never forget your best. Like she goes back to whore for a second. It lives inside the horse, and it's fine. You need your horse. You need your whorish behavior to live there. Otherwise, you're not a complete woman. Anyway, Amber Alert for whores. That's what we should have. And it should be every Thursday at the Highlighter. Amber Alert. All Amber dancers allowed in tonight. You want an Amber? You got it. Ends in an I night at Highlighters would be great, too. All girls' names end with an I tonight. Heidi, Tony, Nikki. They're all up on stage.
I've never considered this. We've got like 3 texts right in a row. You know what Naomi spelled backwards is, right, John?
Naomi. I-M-O-N.
I moan.
Oh, yeah, geez. I guess it does. Well, if for fans of the movie Showgirls, you remember that the Jessie's her name was Nomi Malone.
No one in the world knows that.
Do you know why? The significance of her name, Nomi Malone. On a billboard, it says, "Know me, am alone." That's the depth of the writing.
Wow.
Of Verhoeven or whatever his name is, that weirdo. Know
Paul
me.
Verhoeven?
Yeah, I'm alone. Paul Verhoeven, yeah. Because she had no one in her life, and she had no identity. Know me. Am alone.
Now,
so annoying. And I think I might be the only person that figured that.
I was going to say, I don't want to break down your Zapruder film on that.
Trust me, I have Zapruder filmed all of Showgirls.
You were a little bit not psychosis on Jesse Spano.
Oh, I had a huge, it was a My Sister Sam crush. It was bad. It was going to her house bad for a little bit.
Erotomania.
Is that what it is?
Didn't you think you, didn't,
Oh,
was
that's
that
what
the
you
one you woke
yep.
up and you
I had dreams about her for a few days, and then in my
thought
head,
she had a legit.
I thought for sure I was supposed to seek her out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, something happened.
One
to
of
me.
those.
Well, it was after a relatively odd breakup. I went through a thing, and then all of a sudden, I'm watching a lot of Saved by the Bell because it was on in the middle of the night. I liked it. Jesse Spano, played by the great Elizabeth Berkley. She's on my TV a lot.
You're getting signs.
And I felt like I had some calling to go see and find her. Like, it was powerful. I never did it because I'm not crazy, but something kept telling me that she and I were going to connect somehow. The dreams. And then you could see, like, a more sane mind stops you from that. If I was a little bit off, I'd have gone and done something. I don't think I was 100% home then.
If you got together with your sister back then, you could have closed
What
that
in the
deal.
world is it with you always going to incest? You have a problem with incest. People notice it.
That is a go-to
Her
of
special
yours.
powers.
Nope. We're talking about sex with someone.
You had all these signs.
You always
I'm just-
bring up family. You're very
You did it
strange.
with his mom?
You started making out with your mom
I wasn't
once.
seeing it like that.
Yes,
out with his
but
mom. What?
You do
What?
realize that every time we start talking about something filthy, you bring up a family member.
No, you realize when you talk about seeing signs and these.
Having dreams that drove me because I was a crazy person to go mount and have sex with Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell.
Bing!
They're talking about his sister. This is getting uncomfortable.
Your mom will come up. It's very strange. I'm keeping an eye on it. People have been emailing me a lot lately about that. How come Brady always brings up a family member when you guys talk about something dirty? Like, that's a good question.
So you make out with a few cousins. you
Yeah,
know.
see, here we go. That is probably true. You're from Ohio. It's going to happen, especially as close to family as you guys were.
That joke truck was stalled back up there on McDowell and Thomas.
You got it started up.
I got to get out of this pickle.
Out of it.
It's running. I'll throw a cousin in there. That'll be good stuff.
Yeah.
Throw him off the trail.
Also, off the trail, we have to talk about the Paul Gosar thing. Have you seen the
Yeah.
cartoon?
Yeah.
I
I
haven't seen
haven't. Pull it up. Can you
I
find
don't
it?
know if you can find it anymore.
So anyway, Paul Gosar is
It's
a
graphic. I mean,
Is
it's
It's a cartoon.
Right. It's anime or whatever, but
Right.
that stuff gets.
Okay, people are going to be mad when I say what I'm going to say, though. So he's a representative from Arizona.
Flagstaff, right?
Yeah, he's
like
north-
a
up
dentist.
north.
He's a dentist, yep.
Yep. Yeah, he's a dentist.
Sharp
right?
was going off about it because he was part of his campaign. Like
Oh,
his
was he?
first campaign, Sharp
Yeah,
consulted
he-
on.
When Jim used to work at I forgot what it was called, but he did PR for that kind of stuff. So,
And was shocked about it.
of course he was.
Yeah.
Nobody ever knows this, but of course Jim has to say, like, terrible things because he's in the news radio, and that's what they do. And again, Jim is nothing more than me. He just got a job with news radio. People think that comes with some sort of credentials. He wanted to be a rock jock goof off, and he didn't. And then now he's doing this, and he's good at it. But he's just giving his thoughts. He doesn't know any different than me or anybody else. But it is kind of fun. He's just engaging when he talks. That's the whole key to this gig. But the Gosar thing, he put out a video or a cartoon where he edited himself into it, sword fighting Joe Biden, which is the easiest sword fight in the world if it's real, by the way. I think you could feather fight him and win. Right. So if Joe Biden is not somebody you want to get into a fight with physically, because we all know the outcome. Caleb would kick Joe Biden's ass. Joe Biden is not a strong physical individual. We all can admit that. That's not political as much as it is
Physical.
He's 80,
Yeah.
and the dude he tried to get up from that table sign of that infrastructure bill the other day, and evidently him writing all those letters with his name in it just drained him of all his energy, because getting up from that table was like, if it was anybody else other than the president, somebody would have grabbed his arm and his back and said, "Hey, I got you, buddy." It looks, but you can't help a president up. It looks weak. So he finally gets up. But anyway, Paul Gosar does a cartoon where he's sword fighting Joe Biden, and he slices AOC in half, right? He like chops her up, and everybody now he's being censured.
Is it
like,
chopping? So it's a. Is
He
it a
gives her a
still
slice.
shot or is it a cartoon?
It's cartoon, just from what I heard, but he's edited himself.
It's an anime
in it.
cartoon.
Yeah. And he's edited. I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, he's edited himself into this cartoon, and he's made it so it looks like he's fighting him. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but so he slices AOC up, right? He cuts her in half or something, cuts her head off. I don't know what he does, but he kills her. And now, because of this graphic imagery and this, I'm fighting the president and I'm fighting one of the members of Congress and these violent images in this cartoon I've put out, they're going to potentially take away a lot of his power in politics and censure him and stuff. So that's going up today to talk about whether they censure Arizona's Paul Gosar or not. Now, do I find it funny that he would take time out of his busy schedule to not only come up with this idea, but be okay with it and then publish it on Instagram or wherever he put it? Yeah, I find that hysterical. But, and I hate her, if Kathy Griffin can't ever have a job again for the thing she did, this dude's in trouble. Because we can't run this thing both directions.
Yeah,
Right.
You have to be logical. Everybody who was on the Kathy Griffin train, and I'm one of them, I thought what she did was awful. Not in the name of comedy. That was in the name of attention. And again, there's a difference between shock value and something shocking. And she went to go try to make you go, holy crap, what's she doing? There's nothing funny. There's nothing really great about it or creative. And that's Kathy Griffin's career. Nothing funny, nothing great, nothing creative. And somehow or another, she became famous because Anderson Cooper thought she was a man for a while and was trying to date her. I don't know what the relationship there was. But when she got in trouble for that and everybody was calling for her to go to jail and stuff, you weren't wrong. But this dude's doing the same thing in the name of stupidity. And I think he has to be kind of held accountable for it. I don't want him to be because I want to live in a world where that kind of stuff's hilarious. But we don't live in that world. And if you have it one way, you have to have it both. The world of logic is missing. If your side does it, it's fine. If the other side does it, it's abhorrent. And I know Kathy Griffin's not a representative or a senator or anything. But still, if we're going to hold
and
people
eventually, I mean, she definitely felt a little bit of a pinch there.
Of course she did. She
happened.
lost every job she had and has not gotten many back, if any. She's suffered.
She started, yeah.
And then she got her cancer, and it was all about, guys, I'm a mess. But it was that was not something. She lost every job she had. And the biggest one was that CNN New Year's Eve thing. And that ain't coming back. And now they got Andy Cohen in there, and it's Anderson and Andy are happy together. You can see it. But if you did it, Brady.
This is kind of.
If you did an article or a drawing about, this is the one I saw the clips of. This is the video, though?
Well, it's a news
On
story.
Sunday, depicting
It's kind of a cool
with his or her
art form, though.
face
I like the way it
machine
looks.
using two swords to slit the neck of a tall character
he
with
cut AOC's neck.
Ocasio-Cortez's face. The attack on Titan parody also featured the Gosar
And Jim
character
Sharp sounds
approaching
different.
a character showing the face of President Joe Biden with his blades drawn.
See, now, here's the thing, and everybody can argue with me all they want. Yeah, is it silly that we'd go nuts over this? Sure. But if Brady did it, if I did it, if you listening in your truck or car did it, and it went out, people would come to your house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is not, it's
that
not.
guy that showed up to the van with Eric and started talking about the presidency.
The one guy that said that at our van, I'm going to kill the president
Yeah.
when he was in town. And he told us that. And Eric called and he's like, hey, this dude just said he's going to kill the president. And I'm like, what? And we mentioned it on the air. Within minutes, we had black SUVs in our parking lot. And the least funny people I've ever met in my life were in the building asking
With the
everybody
same last
questions.
name.
Yeah, all Jones. Yeah. Mr. Anderson, I have a few questions for you. But yeah, that was within minutes of us saying it. We had 3 big black trucks at the KUPD building and 2 dudes inside asking everyone questions. All of us. I wasn't there. I had to sit with these guys for 10 minutes.
The hell were they asking you questions?
Then they went
Are
out
we
and
in
got
on
the
it?
guy.
Yeah, and then they went and looked
keep
for
him out there.
They thought they knew who it was.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't there with Eric afterwards. He's like, I have to let him go. And they asked, is he still there? And like, no, he's not still there. Then they came and asked us questions, which basically was like, what did you hear? What do you know? And it made you feel like they think I'm in on this.
So did you guys call somebody, or somebody
They
heard it
just
on the air and just showed up?
Because we said, there's this dude. It was at the teepee. There was, George Bush had dinner with Bob Brenly the night before. We were relatively new on the air. It was like maybe 2 years, year and a half.
Yeah.
And he said,
It might have been the Richardsons.
No, it was Teepee
It was
because
Teepee.
Teepee is where they
Yeah,
had
it was
it. And we were in the
Teepee,
parking lot at the Teepee. We weren't there. Eric was.
Yeah.
And Eric said, this guy said that he's going to kill the president. And he's like, and I'm like, that's super serious. You can't do that. And then remember the bridge we used to see out the window at the old building over Guadalupe?
Yeah.
There were black trucks on it.
Yep.
They were all around us. And I mean, within 45 minutes, you could see the black And you know the difference. Like
Yeah.
they're parked on the bridge, on roads, keeping an eye on KUPD. It was the weirdest ever. And these two dudes came in, and they were not happy. And
Stone cold.
And I
wanted the information.
Trying to joke around. Brady was like, "Hey, did you ever have sex with a relative?" And they're like, "All right, that's another interview."
They did.
And they were both like, "Of course we have. We're from Ohio." But they were dead serious. It was not at all like to be taken lightly. So I look at the Paul Gosar thing in the same light, having had that experience and actually, trying to just be logical and compare it to something normal. The Kathy Griffin thing was something that was and should have been taken seriously. You cannot have our leaders, slaughtered willy-nilly on videos or on pictures or whatever in joking fashion. Hung in effigy is about as far as you can go, and that's questionable. But when you start doing it and you're a representative, it's even more serious than what Kathy Griffin did. And I'm no fan of Joe Biden's, but I don't think you can do videos of people like making light of him being killed. He's still the president of the country. You don't want this. So the dude should be in big trouble, but I'll get emails from people going, "Oh, Kathy Griffin is an idiot and she was doing..." Okay, but do you see the difference that if you did it, this tribe you're standing up for is not going to stand up for you? If you decided to do a wacky video and put it up on Facebook, are you slicing up AOC? It's not going to be something where like, well, my Republican friends are going to think it's fun. No, they're going to take it super seriously. Yep. You can't do that crap. It's threatening to public figures, and there is a law.
Just to know
you can't
being
do
in
that.
his position. To even think
It's
about
stupid.
putting out that cartoon.
Flat stupid.
It is stupid.
And he's like, "Oh, it's about the border." And he made it something about like it's
about the fight for immigration.
It's a statement for immigration and stuff. I'm like, how is that? We're going to slice the leaders' heads off. It's weird though. So and there are tons of like hypocrisies involved when people will do and say things, and it's like, wait a second, you can't even utter in any sort of way. I'm nervous to say that guy was on our show saying he was going to kill the president because that phrase is scary. It's like bomb at the airport. You can't mess around with that. Anyway, so yeah, because the Paul Gosar thing that's hitting home too. That's right here. And if he gets censured and has no juice, then what? Do you get rid of him? No juice. No juice. That's his next video, by the way.
Right.
Flagstaff's
It's going to be the Jew coup?
The Jew coup, the no Jews policy of Paul. But I just don't think that. And plus, do we want someone, I don't care if you're a supporter of his team or not, do you want somebody that stupid in charge of anything? That dude makes bad decisions. That's just a dumb thing to do. And we all do dumb things, but that's a really dumb thing. And plus, he's got a team of people around him monitoring his social media, making sure he doesn't step in this stuff, and he still got that through. It means he's got a dumb team, too.
He got it through twice. He got it through on his official congressman page.
Nobody stopped him.
And on his personal page.
As far as I understand it, you've got about 5 or 6 people helping you out with pretty much everything. Minimum. And everybody going, hey, your social media, this, can't have that, don't post this, don't do anything. Stay. And that goes out? I mean, that's something you could expect from that QAnon shaman guy. Not...
Well, they're throwing the book at him.
Yeah, well, he's going to
4 years.
Broke into the thing.
No, I don't disagree, but I'm like some of the other guys that are getting off with like 6 months, and he's getting 4 years.
I didn't tell you guys that, but the one kid that came to my house for Halloween was him.
Are you
it was
serious?
The best costume I've ever seen. Yeah, he had the buffalo hat and the face painted as a flag and his shirt off. It was
great.
Pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
That was the only kid I gave candy to all year. I didn't even say it because I was like, that's just hysterical. His dad's standing on the road. I'm like, you're brilliant. He might have been 5. He got extra Reese's cups, that kid. With the Reese's Pieces in them. The best kind of Reese's cup ever, unless you count that pie for Thanksgiving. Anyway. But yeah, and I'll get emails from people on the Paul Gosar thing and all that. Everybody's mad because it's their guy. But just keep in mind how mad you were when Kathy Griffin, and she's not even a representative. We got to find middle ground and logic again. We have to be normal people.
Good luck with that.
We're not going to do it. No. The black and white world we live in says if you aren't on my side, you're against everything I stand for. Instead of saying, can we have a discussion where we disagree and still not be crazy? And we're losing that battle. But I think 90% of people are still that. I think 90% of people are normal. It's just the ones that are so loud, and they're the dumb ones, that are so loud that they can't hear an opposing opinion without losing their minds, get heard more often.
Like the lady yesterday in the radio video losing her mind at the theater.
Right.
Yeah.
The woman that went on stage with Affion Crockett. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, I did. I watched that
She's
the
at
other
a
day.
comedy show,
Yeah.
and she didn't like what he was saying, and she climbs up on stage to talk to him. Like, just the people have lost
You're
their...
talking about sex.
Right. They've lost their sense of I don't know, letting everybody else be an individual.
Man.
Like, I have to go up there and be a hero. And as the whole crowd's booing her, she still thinks she's doing something to save the day. We have too many people thinking they're saving the day with their Facebooks and their Instagrams and their stuff. And really, you're not. You're just making yourself feel better in your echo chamber when you get all those likes. You think, because your echo chamber exists, that you're never wrong.
Yeah.
Instagram is filled with people that agree with you because you click the people who don't out. So all you hear is, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, constantly. And you delete the people that don't like you. After a while, you never think you're wrong. And you'll go on stage at an Affion Crockett show and start saying, hey, that last joke you told, not a big fan of it, and here's the reasons why. Because you feel empowered by your stupidity with social media. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, I was watching the Paul Gosar thing. I'm like, that guy's in trouble. That's the good thing about living in the middle. Everybody calls you a pussy. You can't pick a side. I don't want to be on either side. I like the side I'm on, which seems to be logical. I don't ever want to pick up my emails and start firing off a letter with somebody that said something I disagree with and tell them to shut up. You should never say another word in your life. It's like, no, you disagree with that guy. I think he's an idiot. And then you move on with life. The ones who can't are the ones who feel like they might be wrong, so they shout down anybody that has a differing opinion because they're not real confident with your own. I always tell people this when they get really mad. If I told you 2 + 2 is 5, would you fight me? Or would you just go, that guy's wrong, and move on?
Well, that's your opinion.
It's not an opinion. 2 + 2 is 5. And if I was adamant about
if we can't agree there, then
it doesn't even matter about it. You would sit and go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm not going to fight someone who thinks that. I already know my truth is 100% accurate at 2 + 2 is 4. There's no reason to argue that. This has been established as fact. If you're truly sure in what you believe, you don't argue it. You don't. You have no reason to. It's like, well, I already know. I already know I'm right, so I can try to tell you and I can show you, but if you're adamant about this, then it's just something we're not going to talk about. So somebody who's shouting that loudly about something they don't like definitely doesn't feel real confident in their position, for sure. Do you guys think the Gosar guy should get, like, booted?
Booted, I don't know, but yeah, definitely censured.
Censured is just basically the same thing. You're just allowed to show
Well,
up.
It's the second most serious thing, according
You can
to
show
Sharp
up.
this morning.
You're not allowed to do
They
anything.
just pull him off his committees, I thought.
That's what
He's
they're
on
going
to,
for.
and he's
Yeah.
but John's right. He has
That's cash, too.
He's got nothing.
Yeah.
You got nothing, and your votes don't.
Because
like,
your
votes
votes
don't count then?
They count.
No,
but
no, he votes still, but he's not on committees that are defining policy.
Which the committees are the ones that they vote on. They vote on by committee. They do, and he doesn't have the say anymore, which kind of neuters him as a politician if he just goes in to vote for other committee movements and stuff. So, yeah,
Moving him out of that, yeah.
I think,
Based upon,
boot him.
you know what, that's out there for sure.
If we start that ball to rolling, every time somebody slips up and says anything now, they'll try to get him kicked out.
That's a slippery slope
It's
either
a
way.
totally slippery slope, and I don't think you can say that anymore. Pretty sure that's you're going to get censured for that one. Now, that said, I got to see this cartoon because as a guy who just is here for the entertainment and the laughs and personal clicks, like I like my own like button in my own head, I want to see this cartoon.
If anybody's got it, send it on over.
If you've got the cartoon, I'm curious as to what this dude was thinking because he not only did he have to do the cartoon, he had to like say, "Oh, put my face on that."
Well, I was going to say,
Like he had to-
made it for
he's
him.
not.
Still.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, he's not skilled enough to do that. So
Right.
yeah, he
Right.
sat
Somebody else
behind
did it.
some 19-year-old kid and said, "Oh yeah, put my."
Or somebody
put
Or
sent
they
it to
just
him.
did it and sent it to him. That's
I was like,
great.
this is awesome.
Yeah, like what they do to us. Yeah.
That's cool. Like if you sent me a video of me and Brady slaughtering AOC and fighting Joe Biden, would I laugh? Hysterically. Would I post it? Absolutely not.
No.
I'm a D student from Dobson High School with 2 years at MCC. I'm smart enough to know that's something I don't want out there. Just in case. You've got to be smarter than that. You just have to be smarter than that. And anybody defending it's kind of like, all right, I see what team you're on, and I know you don't want your side to ever lose, but this is one you're going to lose.
Right.
If Toledo, look, the furthest I've ever gone is re-killing dead governors on Wikipedia in new ways. I mean, Evan Meekum at Astroworld, that's hilarious. Now, would I make a cartoon of that? Sure, he's already dead. We know it's not real, and we know it's not possible. If I could, superimpose Evan Meekum in the Astroworld crowd, Hilarious. Would I post it? No, it's still too soon. Touchy topic. And that goddamn disco spinster lady who edits Wikipedia would be on top of it in minutes. Wesley Boland. I actually included in there also that he once bit my sister on his Wikipedia page. He also once bit my sister in his eulogy or his death announcement. Gone. Like she knew which parts were what and everything. I even included a fake bibliography from Tucson Daily News to try to make it look like it had some credibility.
You had footnotes.
Oh, I was great. I did footnotes. I made it so, and she didn't research a thing. She just deleted me. And then I got a little red flag that says you're no longer allowed to edit. But that lasts a day. I can do it right now if I want to. And also, you can restore the edits on a different computer. So they live, but she just deletes them. Yeah, Wesley Boland died trying to, he had a heart attack trying to send video from his iPhone to an Android. And it drove him nuts because it keeps compressing it down. And again, the guy kept texting back, hey, your video's too small, I can't see it. And everything they tried didn't work. What are you going to do? Hilarious, right? So I put that in as this is how he had a heart attack on March 4th, 1970. Because being the first owner of an iPhone, tried to video. And also he knew he was the first guy who knew somebody with a Samsung. Like it was a world of firsts. Disco Spinster ruined it. It's pretty neat. But this dude's in trouble. This Paul Gosar. And I guess Sharp was probably one of his reps when he worked for a PR firm.
Yeah. That's what he was saying this morning.
Which basically means he's got a turn on him, which is a tough thing about news radio.
It kind of was this morning, yeah.
Did he?
I mean, you can't defend it.
You can't, but you don't have to make the guy a horrible human being, just an idiot.
I don't think he did that.
He kind of distanced himself because he says, I haven't had any contact with him in a long time.
Right.
And
was it one of those things like, this isn't the man I knew?
It appeared a little bit like that, but not, he wasn't defending him.
But does anybody, because that's what I love about news talk, is they have to do I pull away. Like Broomhead could be listening right now. Yeah. And I think he does a pretty good job of saying like I like Mike, but I don't listen to him a lot. But when
he'll say it when he
says it, and he's like, I disagree with this guy, but it doesn't mean that I have to act like he's a non-human.
Right.
But I love that about politics and stuff, is that when they make a mistake, you have to pull your camp out because people, if they see you, like Jon Stewart, when he was best friends with Anthony Weiner, did such an incredible job of saying, I've defended this guy for a long time, and there's nothing I can do. And I remember he had somebody else do his monologue the day Anthony Weiner got caught the second time, and all he was doing was reading a statement and making really strong margaritas and just chugging them. And he chopped his finger up really badly because the joke was, I'm not allowed to say what I can't defend this. Like, this is my best friend from school, and I can't defend this. And it was hilarious. But he knew that as an impartial person, or he wasn't, but as a person that was supposed to just tell you jokes and some information, that he had to pull away from Anthony Weiner. News radio, if you screw up, they'll pull away from you in a heartbeat. I love Jim Sharp. He's one of the very first people ever dealt with in radio. But I'll tell you this. When it comes to news, I don't trust him at all. He'll throw me under the bus in a heartbeat, and he's done it. And that's how I know. And I've told him that, so it doesn't matter. I don't trust you. I'm not talking to you. You'll blab. If I screw up, he'll be on my ass. That's his job. I don't blame him for it, but he ain't going to help me.
But don't you think there are people in this city that say the same thing about you? I'm not telling you anything. You'll
people in the building say that about me because I'll make jokes about it. But
I guess you're definitely more honest about it.
It's not even about honesty. It's about, look, there's plenty of stuff people have said don't say anything, and I don't.
Oh, yeah, no, I give you credit
there's
for that.
loads
I've
of
done it. I've asked you not to say things.
Absolutely. We've all got stuff in our lives. Let's just let that one go. Yeah. It doesn't help anybody. And usually it's when it hurts someone outside of the show.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's us, and it's something you did, like if you put up a video of slicing up AOC, I'm not going to be on your side. I'm going to be like, all right, look, Toledo, that was the stupidest thing a human being could have done, and I might have to get rid of you now. Like the pressure's going to come down.
Coming for you.
When we had the incident with Bo, we all stood by that. I tried to quit. I quit on the local news. They didn't air it because it wasn't the guy they were after. Bo ended up quitting. Like, I don't want to come back to work. And we hired him at the other station, and he did something
remember that O'Reilly video with Bo.
And there was nothing you can do.
Man.
But there's that certain point where you're like, I want to be on your side here. And I think the best thing for everybody is that you go away, and we're going to help you do something else. We got him jobs at other places. We helped him, and he screwed those up. But, it was
3. I found out 3 times.
3 gigs?
I got him a gig.
We got him the thing at KDKB.
Yeah.
And he screwed that up because he tried to give a car away. They didn't have a car. After the Bo incident here, we're all like, look, what you did was, what we did as a group was silly. It got way out of hand. It got spun. It wasn't even what really happened, but whatever happens, happens. Perception's reality. Bo had news trucks in front of his house, and people were losing their minds, and he was 21 years old. And so he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, we don't blame him. So after a while, he calls, and he's like, I want to get back. So he changed his name to BJ something.
Right.
And did weekends at KDKB. And he told a lady on the phone that if she came down there and showed him her cans, he would give her a Trans Am. Well, she came down.
Oh.
And she showed him. And she's like, I want my car. And it was on the air. Like, he played the tape. And she said, I'd get a car for that. And he goes, we don't have a car to give. And she goes, well, you better get one. And so Chuck, our old boss, who was, I mean, he makes the word cheap look like a fluid money machine. Chuck was not a spender and found out that this lady was after him. And, I mean, Bo was out. Then Brady got him a gig at a restaurant.
Yep.
And we all know what happens at restaurants. People steal.
Right. Man. Put in an extra zero on that.
Put a zero on that tip on the credit card thing and makes
walked
things
out
happen.
with a couple of credit card numbers.
I don't think he was going that
didn't do that. It was just a tip.
You had zeros on tips.
More money on a tip.
I did that. I think the statute of limitations is up. I used to change your tips every once in a while. If I didn't like the tip on a credit card, especially Diners Club, which I had to, they never had a machine for. You had to do that old carbon thing.
Yeah.
It was so easy to change Diners Club. And they didn't have a good system of mailing you your bills.
Yeah.
They had a couple
this
bucks
POS
in there.
has the station number.
Yeah.
Who's working that shift.
Nobody could figure anything out with those carbon papers, so we used to do it too.
Oh, we got the video.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Brent Crandall sent it over.
Crandall has every video ever.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's like a minute 30,
he's
so I
like
don't know if
Disco
we want to watch it on the
Spinster.
air.
He's the dark web.
The dark web, yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll watch a little bit of it. This is the Gosar video. Does it have sound and stuff? Of course it does. It's all in Japanese. Representative Paul Gosar. Yeah, but look.
The name of it.
It says Rep Paul Gosar. There he is. I think I like the animation. I think I like the style.
I hate anime, though. I just...
Something soothing about that color. Oh, immigration. There's migrants crossing the border. This was...
With a bloody filter.
This was thought out. There's the Border Patrol. This is dramatic. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I didn't know there was this much work put into it. Yeah. I thought it was just...
Border Patrol on ponies.
There's a ton of work. That was...
that was Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, that was Taylor Greene, too.
Oh, dude, there's a Border Patrol dude on an ATV. Sweet! Helicopter, sweet! Oh, look at all those.
Blonde was AOC.
Here comes Paul Gosar. There's Joe Biden. The state of Arizona flag. Oh, I like what I'm seeing here. This is a commercial for Border Patrol. I'm about to get up.
It is. Few the proud.
Yeah.
The paratroopers.
Wow. Trump Gosar. Where's the part where he chops people up?
That's how
was
quick
kind
it
of
was.
in the middle.
You missed it.
No kidding.
Right there.
Oh, geez, I would have never seen that.
No.
So they had to still shot it. That's like what I used to do with old VHS tapes.
I think it's right here.
Frame by frame ass.
That's AOC right there.
It's to the back.
Oh, there's
right?
a bleeding neck. I just saw that.
Yep.
And he's slicing up everybody. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
It was
That's it right there. That's
it's
it
the
right
still
there.
shots that made it
And
worse
that it?
than,
Were there other
know.
cuts?
Yeah, that was it.
I know. I thought that was hell, but you
There
saying
he
he
is,
went
though.
by?
This is
Yeah,
a
he
dude.
went by. There was like 3 killings
I'll
right
tell
there.
you what. This is a dude whose ego's out of control,
Oh, yeah.
even by morning radio show host standards. I mean, and I've got a healthy one. I wouldn't let this video out because I'm like, nah, I'm not that cool. Like this, he's flying and superpower,
But it's a
man.
big political... I mean,
remember, he's the guy that his whole family did anti-ads against him when he was running.
Oh, that's right. Everybody in the family.
Everybody in
no
his
kidding.
family
I didn't
put
know
a
that.
giant
Wow.
family.
Oh,
He's the only
Gosar's
one.
nuts. If you did a video of me flying around killing politicians, I'd be like, guys, I don't think this is a good idea. And I'm dumb.
Maybe we back up.
I'm dumb as a stump when it comes to like funny and thinking, well, maybe we should do that. Come on. Cool video, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of work put into that video.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Gosar, can I have 5 minutes of your time, please? Sure, what do you got?
do you
Well,
got,
come in
Tommy?
this cool video of you and the Border Patrol, and it's the statement on the immigration policy. Let's take a look at it. Holy crap, do I look cool in this?
I'm sorry, but
Is that me?
I'm just picturing Jeremy.
Did I just slaughter? Oh, my God, I killed AOC. This is great. Put it on my socials, put it everywhere.
It probably went down to this guy, you can't run this, Mr. Gosar.
Too late.
I'm sorry. It's like, I spent $5,000 on this.
I put a lot of time in it. I hired a little Jap kid to rock this thing, and it looks good. Quan Lee, come here for a second. Tell him how much you put a lot of work into this. Mr. Gosar, tell me a very good thing for $5,000. That's right. Immigration problem. See, we got an immigration problem. Now get back over in your cage, kid.
You're out of your cage.
Hey, how'd you get out of there? If I had a video like, oh my God, this guy made me look so awesome. And the Border Patrol looks cool as hell. Helicopters and ATVs and running Emmys. You got Emmys running away. That's awesome. When do I pop in? Oh, cartoon. We have cartoon of you slicing up AOC head. Oh, sweet. It's like Mr. Garrison from South Park. You can't see that and think you need to post it on your own stuff. That's
John,
just dumb.
I'm a nerd, but the song in that video is also from an anime about a country that built a wall around their country to keep out a race of giants.
Wow. Double sweet. That you are a nerd. That is some serious nerd. You recognize that song. So the dude who did it is well aware of the anime symbolism in building the wall.
That's what it is.
Gosar, I got to say, though, he did look cool as hell. I don't think he can live up to how cool he looked in that, which is a flying gladiator that chops up bad guys.
That's why he's like, I'm running it. I don't care. I look too cool.
The only thing missing was the American flag hanging off his head like a Homelander.
That was almost like a Team America type
it
thing.
Was pretty great.
It was
Gosar is Gosar the Gozarian.
Okay, now it's dumber than I thought it was.
You'll see on Friday.
I first glance, I didn't see the murders.
Yeah.
I didn't witness it.
I saw
I just thought he looked really cool.
Backstabbing.
Hilarious.
Real quick blades of the back.
But it was quick.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Well,
I didn't realize he's going by with the blades.
Second time through, he's
the blood slice.
He's blood slicing some folks. I didn't see that the first time. I was enamored with his ability to fly. And then Biden comes out of the skies like a Monty Python god. Oh, that was pretty neat. All right, you are dumb. That is now I'm on the page of just him being stupid because that is.
And that happened so quick compared to what the Kathy Griffin deal was.
Sure, which was just a still shot of her holding that head, which was just ugly. But they both should be in trouble. Like you know, you can't do that.
It falls under the same.
And again, even without the slicing stuff up, a guy sends me that video. I'm like, hey, that's really cool, thank you, but I can't do that because people will think I'm insane. Even if it was me, if you just did my face where Paul Gosar's is and flew me around, and it's a Border Patrol thing, I look like a lunatic. This is like too much. I look less than sympathetic towards anything in this. I got to keep my eye on the prize here. But anybody out there who wants to edit Brady and I into that video, Dave Eggleston, I think maybe it's a good idea because we're allowed to do it. Just keep out the parts where we're killing Congress people. That video's funny. Wow, that's some arrogance. Anyway. And how did the guy who made the video get time with him?
Does he get in trouble?
Like, that's what I want to know. Did he pay for this? Did he say, I need a video? If he's behind it, it's even worse. But I mean, if a dude just sent it, because we get stuff like that. If a dude just sent it to him, and he's like, this is just so kick-ass, I can't not share it with everyone. Then he's dumb. But he didn't at least, write it and storyboard it.
If it was his son.
What if it was Jeff Flake's kid? The N-word killer.
Oh, that's right.
Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Somehow or another, he survived that one, but his kid's gaming name was N-word Killer 1. I'm like, wow, this whole group, you just don't pay attention to anything. Yeah. What are you going to do? What do you got on the big board of musical treats there?
Wake Up Song brought to you by our buddies over there at Action Ride Shop on Gilbert Road and Southern. Or check them out online at actionrideshop.com. They got the bikes, they got the boards, they got you all set up for all of your extreme sports. Check them out again on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. They're all over the place. actionrideshop.com. And let's see here. We got a couple for you coming back. The boys are back in town the Bus Boys.
Missed the Bus.
Thin Lizzy's The Boys are back in town. Welcome back, Cotter theme for your big return from John Sebastian. Back in the Saddle, Seasons in the Abyss, Pantera Walk. Dayglow Abortion's making an appearance on the yeah. Hide the hamster.
Dayglow Abortion.
Yeah.
I pictured it.
They're an old punk band.
I'm going to tell you this. It's beautiful.
What?
Dayglow Abortion is gorgeous. Like the imagery is like the pop of color. I like Dayglow. But I don't know what to do there.
I don't know that song, so.
I don't either. I don't know Dayglow
No one
Abortion.
knows that.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Coming in at 3, Dayglow Abortion.
Should we see if we can find it here?
Dear Casey, I've recently had my 4th abortion.
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna let
time,
you search that one.
I
All right, I'll
added
look for
some
it.
neon colors to it. It looks like an Easter parade fell out of my vagina. Could you please play Dayglow Abortion?
So many pastels.
It's just a pastel abortion.
It reminds me of Easter. Maybe he'll be born again. Anyway, what are you going to do?
All right, let's see what this sounds like. Oh,
This
commercial, hang on.
Dayglow Abortion?
Yeah, one second here. Gotta get through the commercials.
People are sending me Paul Gosar's family hating
All right,
him
here you go.
out loud.
What is it? Here today, guano tomorrow. That's a Brady joke.
It's not that bad, actually. I was getting ready for play. Yeah, we might as well get people used to it.
Speaking of, we have something in Play-Doh we need to address a little bit later.
All right.
You want to go with the
Let's go with a little Dayglow Abortion.
All right.
Eddie, we're sorry
got
you
it.
can
All right.
take a lap around the building real quick, but as we discuss Paul Gosar's stupidity and things that he's put out, here we go with Dayglow Abortion. This shouldn't cause any trouble. Abortion is an easy topic to get around, especially a pretty beautiful pastel one.
Somebody check the lyrics on this, though.
Like hypercolor abortion might be even better.
Benetton?
Well, you remember those old shirts that would change color in the sun? Was it Benetton that made those? I don't
Wasn't
think.
it?
No,
it
they
was-
were just
oh,
the
man, it's
something
scary.
of colors.
I had a buddy used to wear that.
Oh, I love them for like a month.
Hypercolors.
Hypercolor shirts. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Was Hypercolor.
Yeah, but I can't remember who made it, though.
And they do it on glasses and
I just
like
remember the
plastic
shirts.
cups.
Oh yeah, they had that for a while. But the shirts, when they made the material, that
Yeah.
would start doing crazy stuff.
Hypercolor shirt.
I have a
Problem is
shirt.
if you'd pit out,
Right.
You know,
Which is gross.
you'd have
I
a
have a
rainbow
Hurley
under your
shirt,
arm.
like right now, that the logo Hurley changes in the heat. You go outside and it becomes a white shirt.
Yeah.
Like the logo. And if you're inside, it's kind of a reddish color.
Genera.
Genera.
That's
there
right,
it is.
yeah.
Genera's hypercolor. Dayglow Abortion.
We clean?
shirt. Are we good?
There's asses and a-hole. That's about as tough as we go.
All right.
Yeah, we deal with that every day.
That's exactly right. That was the original name of this show. Asses in the A-hole. I was playing the part, of course, of the A-hole. You, the asses. The art was beautiful. It was just this
man.
big starfish
Those
with
anime videos?
3 donkeys and a starfish slicing up Congress people. Just flying around with their egos out. It was pretty
So
good.
the family's already turned on him.
Oh, no, they turned on him in those
They
commercials.
turned on him years ago during
These are
his
the old-
election.
Oh, that's right.
The old commercials
Okay.
about how they hated him.
Paul Gosar, the congressman, isn't doing anything to help rural America.
Paul's absolutely not working for his
brother.
district.
If they care about health care, they care about their children's health care, they would hold him to account. If they care about jobs, hold him to account.
Oh, that's his
If he
sister.
actually
This is his
cared
other sister.
about people in rural Arizona, I bet he'd be fighting for Social Security, for better.
So
access.
he grew up in Flagstaff as the only Republican in that hippie dippy family of his, and they just hated him right off the bat. I don't put any.
You know
creams
what? They
behind
got paid for that, and it's all good now.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you won.
What we should do is fly into this commercial and just start slicing his family up. Well, now there's Paul with the power of flight. He believes in himself a little bit. Paul Gosar's my brother. Paul Gosar's my uncle. Paul Gosar's my...
Wholeheartedly endorse Dr. David Brill for Congress.
The whole family
I'm Dr.
hated
David
him.
Brill, and I approve this message.
I got Paul Gosar's whole family to hate him on TV. How about that? And I still lost. And then Paul Gosar says, you can't pick your family. We all have crazy aunts and relatives, and my family's no different. I hope they find peace in their hearts and let all the hate go. Paul Gosar, slice. Paul / Gosar.
You guys partake?
I'll partake. Hit me.
UPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.